Okay, let's bring the Economic, Tourism, and Cultural Development Committee to order, please. Can I have approval of the agenda? Moved by Councilor Ramsey, seconded by His Worship. Any declarations of conflict of interest?
Seeing none?
Seeing none, let's move to the approval of the minutes from August the 21, 2025.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any business arising out of the minutes of August 21?
Yes, sir.
Seeing none, let's go to the reports. So our manager has tourism accommodation levy MOU. Wayne, do you want to talk about the MOU for our committee?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. The report is in your package. The existing tourism accommodation levy MOU has expired, actually several months ago. We were stalled somewhat as we were waiting for the incorporation of the Charlottetown Special Events Fund, so we could do all of the housekeeping with respect to the MOU and renewal in one phase. So essentially, we're looking to renew. All partners have been involved in the process, including the newly incorporated Charlottetown Special Events Reserve Fund.
Okay.
The renewal process was pretty simple one in that it was dealing with things such as housekeeping, terms of the agreement, the implementation of the new partner, fine-tuning the benefits and deliverables within the document itself. So we've also, beyond staff, have run this through legal, so the document is ready for renewal. It would be a 5-year renewal amongst all partners. So we're looking to secure the city's support and advance this on to council, and then we'll sign and enter it into the MOU. And again, a friendly reminder, the MOU is associated with the Tourism Accommodation Levy, which does great work for Charlottetown through partners, namely the Hotel Association of Prince Edward Island, Discover Charlottetown, Meet PEI, and the Charlottetown Special Events Reserve Fund. And this is the levy that is collected at hotels. It's a not municipal taxpayer tax. It's a client-used tax that's collected at hotels. So looking for your support to advance this on to council so we can conclude the agreement.
Thank you, Wayne. And I assume everybody probably read this over. So just the memorandum of understanding. I just want to make note, it's great that we still have the 3 voting directors to serve, the one who will be appointed as chair. So we still hold those seats that we held before, which is, I think...
What section is that?
What section?
Yeah.
It's in your package.
Yeah, I know. You have it there.
Yep.
Section 4, section 5.
Page, well, I've got it on page 3. So this, what I'm talking about is actually on page 4. So we still have the setup, what we had before we incorporated it.
So your worship, if you go to 2.9.
2.9.
Councilor Ramsey, did you have a question?
Just an information. Thank you for that, Wayne and Chair. I always thought that surf was part of it, but this is new to us now. Is it that surf's joining this group? I'm just for my own sake of knowledge.
Yeah.
So through the chair, Councilor Ramsey, surf has always been a part of the tourism accommodation levy. However, they were operating internally as somewhat of a city committee of council, let's call it. So recently, SURF has incorporated to align with the other entities who form the partnerships within the agreement. And so now SURF is operating on its own, so we had to include them as a separate entity. The city simply moving funding out as it does to the other partners.
Okay, Mr. Chair.
So you okay? Your worship?
I'm just looking again. Wayne, I'm on page 17 of my digital copy. There's authority, number 2, section 2, subsection 2.1. Then I go down to definitions. And
Your worship, we're currently dealing with the MOU. I think the document you're looking at is the bylaw, which is coming up next.
right, okay. So
We'll hold that till-
So what page is that on?
What is it you're looking for?
The membership.
The MOU?
Yeah, I'm going back up to it now. Hold on. Thank you. So the reason I bring this up, Mr. Chair, so 2.8 is, we'll have 3 appointed. They go through council to be appointed, correct?
So through the chair, your worship, we do have, the municipality holds 3 positions. One position is the manager of economic growth or attraction or their equivalent. The name of that position could change over time. The position of event management and tourism officer. And then the third appointee is of the city. They must come from the tourism industry at large. So 3 appointees.
That's what it was before.
Yeah, but I thought we were changing that the,
No, but we didn't want to change it because they were going to appoint their own chairs. But we wanted it
Yeah,
kept
but-
this way.
yeah, but hold on. We own the lion's share here because the TAL is all money collected in Charlottetown, correct? Tourism accommodation levy?
The tourism accommodation levy is collected by the city of Charlottetown.
Yeah, and it's every property that rents in Charlottetown. So if they were saying, no, well, we want to appoint the chair, no, that's where I thought we were going to have three members and 2 ex officios. That's what we were talking about sometime, well, when we last had a full discussion on this, but obviously it's the same as it was.
Which
It
is
has-
which is what we wanted because the ex officios don't get a vote.
No, but they get a seat at the table.
But we have 3 here.
I know, but I'm looking at people from the community, and I know that we have the manager, management, event management and tourism officer. I understand that, but I was wondering. I was asking or wishful thinking that we would have members from our public that would be on this board, and our ex officios would be our staff that would provide all that background information. So
Well,
I didn't know we stared away from it, but that's
But
what
the
we
thir-
have here.
But
And that-
the third one
Yeah.
is an individual that must be involved in the tourism industry, but shall not be an elected official or city staff.
Correct.
So is that what you're talking about?
No,
You
no,
just want-
I know that, but again, I'm
Okay.
going back to when I thought we were looking at 3 members of the community and 2 ex officio that would be staff members that would be there to provide the corporate knowledge, the corporate history.
Yeah, I
And-
think where you might be confused is
No,
the
I'm not
previous one,
confused,
they were wanting 2 of our staff to be ex officio.
which is fine, because ex officio probably doesn't have the vote, but they do have,
But we wanted the vote.
Yeah.
So we had discussions with them, and this is what we come
Yeah.
up, this is the agreement we come up with.
so we do have members on many different boards across this city, across the province. And we do ask those members to represent our best interests. When we have staff, it's like when the CAO is here in the chamber, he doesn't have a vote, but we do seek his knowledge, his understanding of procedure, and he provides that information.
Yeah, but
Anyways,
when you're talking about putting surf money towards certain projects, we like to have a say in it, not just ex officio. We like to have a vote in it. So we have that.
we would have
Say whether it was members of
the staff or members of the public.
But they
I'm sure-
don't, but the
Anyways.
old way, they wouldn't have a vote. They could have their say, but they wouldn't,
Yeah.
this way they have a vote.
I'm going back to what I thought was we were looking at changing this, and I didn't know that this is what we're going to be voting on when it goes to council.
Go ahead, Wayne.
Through the chair, your worship, a couple of items. So what you're referring to was originally what the SURF committee approached the city on, and council didn't agree with that.
Yeah.
So council already has agreed to this structure under the incorporation of the Charlottetown Special Events Reserve Fund. So this MOU is as much housekeeping as anything.
Right,
We've
we-
already
we
agreed
voted
to
on
this
this.
through another agreement and at the
Right.
council's direction.
Right, we voted on this last month, remember?
Is it in our minutes for last month?
It would be in the past minutes.
Yeah,
Last month?
yeah.
Not last month.
It
wasn't last month.
Before, but these documents have already been.
Yeah. Okay,
This package that we voted on to go this way has been to council.
so
So this is the MOU now that the council had asked to put together.
2.3, third person, that goes back to council, correct?
Or is that just,
Through the chair, your worship, so the third individual, currently we have an appointment on the board that came through council and it was your appointment, and they're currently sitting. However, we will need to replace the chair of the committee as we have a vacancy for the chair of the SURF fund, and that will be brought back to council here in the near future.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. You have a question?
No, I'm okay.
Everybody's good on that? We're getting older. Memory's not as good.
Four members at the table because 3 members plus 2 ex officios. That's what I was.
So, okay, thanks. We'll go to the next report, Tourism Accommodation Levy Bylaw Amendments. And that is also in your packets. I don't know if anybody has any questions on the amendments. That's what's highlighted in the red that we had staff do for you. Kevin, are you okay with the amendments?
Very good, thank you.
Mitchell, you okay? Okay. Your worship?
Yep.
Okay.
Again, the levy is already in place, or does it go in place January 1st, 2026? 3% to 4%.
Through the chair, your worship, the levy is currently in place. However, the increase from 3 to 4% is effective January 1st.
As per the resolution. Yeah, okay. And the last report is the CADC Province House Historic District Streetscape Project, which, as you recall, our last meeting, we had Aaron Harrison from CADC in. So this project, to give you a little bit of history, this had gone to a number of public meetings. I believe it was around COVID. The package for reference is in your packets, the information on it. You may recall that we had a presentation done, and this would be a few years ago now where CADC was in done this presentation. So now with all the work that's going on at the Confederation Center, Sydney Street is on the books, or I guess Public Works is looking to replace water and sewer lines and so on. So the timing's probably good. What we're asking here is this here particular project, that this moves on to finance for funding in the budget to be able to do the work. Go ahead, Councillor Twill.
Yeah, no, look, I appreciate the project. My concern is, number one, I wonder, should this not be vetted through Public Works first? We have a number of projects that are on the books, as you know. And in terms of priorities for the city, like infrastructure renewal, I don't want to get into a situation where we're trying to compete with, capital projects from another committee. I understand the merits of this project.
Yeah.
I support it, but we've got a lot of projects that are on the books that our senior staff and Public Works are working on and trying to prioritize them, and I don't want to get involved where we have competing interests coming from another committee. I correct me if I'm wrong, I thought projects of this nature and magnitude is vetted through the Public Works Committee.
Well, I think, Councillor, if you go through the package, right now what we're asking for is moving on to finance. It's not, it would be new money that we would have to find. It wouldn't be taken away from any projects. And number two, it would be to go and get permission also to engage the other levels of government to be partners in this project.
I understand that,
Yeah.
but we'd have a lot of projects that, in Public Works,
Yep.
that need to
And this
be,
is not going to affect any of them.
well.
If you have a lot of projects that are in Public Works that are already approved, then they're fine.
Well, I
That will
know,
go ahead.
but we
This will be something we're sending to finance, and this will be, if council agrees.
Yeah,
This will
well,
be part of
I
a
know,
budget
but-
that we would have for 26,
Yeah,
27.
no, look, I'm not disagreeing with the merits of the project. My concern is,
Well, this is not doing the project. This is, my understanding, this was like getting the design done.
yeah,
Good design.
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's not doing, it's going to get the design done and get funding partners.
And that's what we want to push on the finance.
But then, once you do the design, then that creates an expectation. And like I say, Public Works, as you know, our last meeting,
Well, I think there's an expectation to have Sydney Street and the water and sewer lines and so on replaced.
Yeah, I know.
That has to happen. We know they're over 100 years old. So if you're going to do it, this is the time to have this on the shelf, ready to go. So
I'm
when
not-
that-
again,
when that
I'm not
project
just-
comes through
I'm not-
Public Works,
Terry, I'm not disagreeing with the merits of the project. What I'm saying is, we've got a lot of projects here in the city that need to be done.
yep.
And in terms of priority, I would think that would go through our, Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would think that would be administered through Public Works Manager, water and sewer, because.
But that project priority would come down to council at the end of the day. This is to get the design done, to have it on the shelf, so when work starts on Sydney Street and so on, at least the design is done. Council will make that decision if they want to do the project or not.
Yeah,
I think at some point, someday, the project will get done, so
Oh,
we might as well have it prepared and
Yeah,
have
I
the design
know,
done.
I know, but we've got a lot of projects, again, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, we got a lot of projects throughout the city that need to be done. I mean, we have all this development taking place.
And this is another one.
And we got, we've got no infrastructure.
And this is the infrastructure that we need to get done, and that's what we're saying. There's a lot of projects need to be done, don't
Yeah.
disagree, this is
Yeah.
one of them. CAO?
Yeah, I just got my 2 cents, I think we would be remiss if we didn't do this.
Can you just use the mic, please?
The light is on.
No, just offer some comments here. I think, we'd be remiss if we didn't do this as opportunity to potentially secure funding from different levels of governments and stakeholders to invest in the heart of our historic district, but there's an onus on us to take the lead in that vision. And so I think, Councilor Tweel has also highlighted, that there is lots of priorities. However, we also know that a lot of our economic drivers are in the heart of our downtown that support future growth and future investment into our neighborhoods and streets. So, I think it's prudent to move this forward and bring it before council and look at it when we have all the information.
Thank you for that, Brad.
Yep.
You good? Councilor
Nope.
Tweel, you good?
No, I just wanted to,
You okay?
Oh, go ahead, let him speak.
Kevin, you
Mr.
okay?
Chair,
He wants to speak.
it's a finance matter, so the finance matter always goes back to
Yeah.
Standing Committee of Finance and Administration. And if you go to page 23, the digital copy, $144 million for the restoration of Province House. 80 million, 72, 75 million for the Confederation Center of the Arts. Our library was 17 million, the Charlottetown Library Learning Center. And if you add the Daniel J. McDonald restoration, which is basically going right down to the bones, that's 80 million. So you're over a quarter of $1 billion of work, of renovations that are going in, just in that area. And our investment in Boulder Park, that 4.8, is a drop in the bucket that what's going to be going on here. Because let's add the Hamburg building, which, Michael, I don't know if you estimate the cost of the Hamburg, I'm saying about 20 million. Am I off? Hard to say, but it's in that area. The only thing I want to ask, Mr. Chair, is that I've gone through this Province House Historic District Phase 1
Yeah.
over and over again, and I did ask it when it first came to us. I think it was maybe a year and a half ago, or maybe tail end of COVID. But we got a huge development that is ready to go on the corner of Queen and Dorchester. And that spreads over to King Street. It's the Bevins Enterprises development. And like they are asking, for some involvement from us. Councillor Tweel, both you and I were on council when we renovated Queen Street right down to Water Street.
Yeah.
Buried all the lines, buried all the both electrical, telecommunications, everything went underground.
With the partners, COA.
With the partners.
ADC, yeah.
I'm just asking our staff if that we can, and politically, we have to ask CADC to be part of this, is that if we want this other huge development, the Bevins Enterprises project to go ahead, we need to be in there also. So hopefully, we can incorporate that as part of this, I call it, as it's titled, Province House Historic District. I think that would be a big plus to, again, downtown development, enhancing the 500 lot, enhancing it attraction to tourists, whether they're coming off the ships or they're coming in by plane, or they're coming in by cars, or we don't have trains, so I can't say autos, trains, and airplanes. But I really think that we have an advantage here to look at, trying to amend it, Mr. Chair, because I think, if we're really looking at selling the downtown, it should be going right from Grafton Street to Water Street, and really push that as much as we can, because it's, as I said, we're looking at close to $300 million investment just in those 5 projects.
Yeah.
That's substantial, substantial.
Yeah, good point. And I just want to reiterate, I know the CAO had some good points there too. Of all the historic area that we talk about, this street is the most historic. This is where our fathers of Confederation walked up to Province House. The breakdown is there for the projects. So if you're looking at Sydney Street right now, the water system, storm system, all the amenities that would be to restructure the street, the grand total of this one is $2.1 million. So we're not asking for that right now. As I said to Councilor Twill, we're just going to design to be prepared. But we do know at some point it has to get done. So it would be prudent on us to move this to finance and let the design get started, have it ready. So can I have?
I'll put the resolution on the
thank
floor.
you. You'll move it?
Move it.
Do we have a seconder?
Okay.
Thank you.
Resolution's on the floor. I just want to say that, again, this is, and I know that our Director of Integrated Growth has said this many times, there's a lot of interconnectivity here. We're working outside the silos. It's environment and sustainability, it's public works, it's finance, it's water, wastewater utility. So there's a lot of work that has to be done inside, and I know that as you and as council, we're quite confident that our staff will make sure that they work in unison to make this come about. So it'll go back to the appropriate committees to get a full hearing.
And I will add, and then we'll end it. But it's important, as the CAO has said, to get out and start looking for the funding partners now. We may end up getting more funding than we expect for this project. We may be able to do a little bit more, such as what the Bevins are looking for to continue with their project. So anyway, we have a mover and a seconder. Can I have a vote to move this on to finance?
I just, another point I'd like to bring up.
Sure.
Again, not saying I'm opposed to the project, but, it's been talked about in the chamber here, last number of meetings. We've got, the University Avenues, we've got North River Road, Capitol Drive, Exhibition Drive. We've got that intersection at St. Peter's Road and Allen Street. A lot of work needs to be done there. Mount Edward Road, we have no completely unsafe for the pedestrian traffic. Cycling on the west side of Mount Edward Road. So I just hope at the end of the day that, with all this growth and development, all these apartment buildings and a lot of housing that's built, we don't have any infrastructure. I just want to bring that caution to the table because I don't want, competing projects saying, well, no, we're going to do down there. And in the past, you talk about Queen Street, Sydney Street, Victoria Row. The city has spent a lot of money there over the last few years. We have spent a lot of money. Nobody can dispute that. A lot of money has been spent there, and we have other parts of the city where we haven't done anything.
Well, I think.
You know what I'm saying, Terry?
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
We
Yeah,
haven't,
but,
we haven't done anything at all.
I disagree with that.
Just one second. I think all the years that I've been here, Councilor Twill, it's every year, there's always projects that need to be done, and we always prioritize them, and we do work down the list, and we do get them done. This is one that was on the list 5 years ago, so sometimes we talk about, this project's been on the books for X number of years. This one's been on for at least 5 years. I think the mayor was right in talking about all the money that's being spent in the historical district now. The one thing that's a driver for me on this one is that we're going to be going into the ground to replace water lines and sewer lines anyway. We have to do it. If we're not prepared, if we don't have a design prepared, we're going to end up losing a ton of money. So it just falls into the, I know what you're saying, and that's an issue every year in every budget. But right now, we're asking to go to finance. Finance can decide to send this to design. So,
And Mr. Chair, if I could just add, like this council and the last council, we've spread our wings far and wide. Multi-use sports venues, pickleball courts, buckets and baskets, or bucket and borders out in Parkdale, or Charlottetown as we all know it now. And $1.1 million going out to McCrae Drive for that multi-use sports venue. $3 million going up to Simmons. Like, I think we're doing a lot beyond other municipalities, and we're still keeping the fiscal control in place.
yeah. But anyway, we're getting into finance discussion. So everybody's okay to move this to finance? Moved? Okay. Thank you very much, council. Is there, I don't see any new business, so I can move it for adjournment. Moved by Councilor Ramsey, seconded by His Worship. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate that.